Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to dive right into the explosive and honestly kind of crazy world of AI startups. We'll be using some amazing insights from top venture capitalist Manav Garg to build a real founder's guide for this new frontier. Okay, let's kick things off with a number that is, well, it's pretty mind-blowing. $15 million. That's the annual recurring revenue an AI startup called Emergent managed to hit in just 90 days. I mean, that is a speed of growth we have literally never seen before. But, at the same time you have this insane growth, you also have these huge warnings coming from the very top. Even Sam Altman from OpenAI is out there saying, yeah, we might be in a bubble. So what is really going on here? Is this a massive gold rush or is it a really dangerous trap? To really get what's happening, you first have to understand that the fundamental rules of the software world, well, they've been completely rewritten. Now, get this. This chart breaks down the new AI value stack, and it is wild. For every $100 spent in AI, a massive $70 goes straight to infrastructure. Think NVIDIA and AWS. Then another $20 goes to the models themselves, like OpenAI. And that leaves, what? Just $10 for the actual application layer. That's where most founders are trying to compete. And what's powering this whole new economic reality? Well, it's this radical shift in how we actually create software. There's a new term for it, and it's perfect. Vibe coding. Essentially, you just describe your idea, the vibe, to an AI, and it builds the software for you. And just look at the difference here. The old way of building an app, it was a total marathon. We're talking 6+ months, easily over $100,000, and you needed a whole team. Now, the new way is a sprint. With platforms like Emergent, the entire creation process is compressed from months down to less than an hour for a tiny fraction of the cost. Okay, so with these new rules, how on earth do you find an idea that's actually built to last? Well, the secret is to stop automating the present and start building for a totally reimagined future. And this quote from Maruthi Garg, it absolutely nails it. Instead of just making today's workflows a little bit better, you got to think 2 or even 3 years down the line and ask, what will an AI native insurance company really look like? And that way of thinking leads us to this really powerful new concept, agentic commerce. Here's the deal. All that tedious searching and browsing we do online, the stuff that makes up like 95% of how we shop today, the idea is that it's all just going to disappear. It'll be handled completely by AI agents. And here's how that would work in the real world. Instead of you spending hours on the phone or clicking through websites, your personal AI agent does the whole thing. It already knows your profile, it goes out and talks to the insurance company agents, negotiates the best plan, and then it pays for you. All you have to do is just give it the thumbs up. And you can see how this creates a totally new battlefield, right? The fight isn't just about who has the best product anymore. It's about who owns that relationship with you, the customer. Are you going to trust the company's agent, or are you going to trust your own personal AI that's working just for you? All right, so you've got this killer, future-proofed idea. Now what? How do you actually turn it into a successful business? Well, that brings us to the modern founder's playbook. First, you have to get your head around the absolutely brutal economics of this space. A lot of these AI startups actually start out losing money on every single customer. For every $100 in revenue, they might spend $110 just on the cloud and model fees to serve that customer. And that's before they've spent a single penny on marketing or building the product. So, what's the takeaway here? It's that you can't just throw money at paid ads and buy your way to success. It just doesn't work. In this new world, the only way to win is to build a product that's so good, so insanely valuable, that people can't help but share it on their own. And this is the modern go-to-market flywheel that powers that organic growth. It all starts with really broad influencer marketing, not just in your core niche, but in all the areas around it. Then you solidify that with a strong brand, so your message is consistent. But the whole engine, the thing that really makes it spin, is that word-of-mouth growth. That's what creates this amazing, virtuous cycle of feedback and product improvements. Which brings us to probably the single most important number for any early-stage AI company. That number is 50%. Within 6 months of launching, over half of your new customers have to be coming from unpaid word-of-mouth referrals. If you can't hit that number, well, your cost to get a new customer is just going to be too high to survive. It's that simple. So, after all that, what does this all mean for you? Whether you're a founder who's dreaming up the next big thing, or a student trying to figure out your path, Or maybe you're just curious about where all this is headed. All right, let's wrap this up with the key takeaways. First, the old rules are gone. The barriers to creating world-changing software are lower than they have ever been. But that means the challenge has shifted. You have to think bigger. Reimagine entire systems from the ground up by getting rid of that search and browse step. And above all else, you win by building a product that people genuinely love, one that basically markets itself. And that really brings us to the end. Look, the tools are here. The economic models are shifting right under our feet. And the map for building the future is clearer than it's ever been. The only real question left is the one right there on your screen. What will you build?